Hi everybody, welcome to A College Faith. It's been a couple of days since I posted one of these videos. You'll have to forgive me, I've been out of town, not feeling great either, but I do want to continue today. We're going to put a hold on our New Testament readings until I get a new Bible in. For those of whom don't have a study Bible, I think it's really beneficial to get one. They're really great at bringing in other citations, bringing in historical content that help you to understand the context of what you're reading. And so we're going to wait until I ordered one today, really excited about it. We're going to wait until I get that so that I can look over some of it, and we'll start that journey together soon. In the meantime, today I want to talk about something that's been bothering me a lot lately. And it's bothering me because it's something that we all do. And it's bothering me because I continue to do this no matter how hard I try and tell myself not to. Judgment. Judgment is such a weird thing. Because, and I'll tell you what, the weirdest part of it is that Christians can be really judgmental. We can be some of the harshest judges on earth. We really can be if we put our mind to it. And sometimes when we don't. Somebody doesn't go to church all the time, we judge them. If they do something bad, whether it's just a little bad or if it's like truly horrible, no matter what, if they do something that's not according to what we read, or we'll get to why this is kind of a problem later, but we do this thing where we judge them. We judge people. We do that. If they're not this way, we judge them. If they're different, we judge them. And I know it because I catch myself doing it all the time. Why do we do that? I mean, what makes us so expert at judging people? We follow closely the words of the gospel, and yet we seem to forget all the time that there are some super major, huge points in the gospel about judgment. And we'll begin with one from Romans. Therefore, you have no excuse, whoever you are, when you judge others. For in passing judgment on another, you condemn yourself, because you, the judge, are doing the very same thing. I think that's about right. How about a little hypocrisy to throw into the mix? I catch myself a lot of the times looking at other people and thinking to myself, if I'm sitting and eating lunch and there's a group of guys over there being loud and obnoxious and talking about other people, I catch myself looking at them and going, man, those guys are judgmental. How can they be like that? That's so wrong, They're really not that nice. They're actually kind of mean. And then it hits me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm sitting 10 feet away from these people, and I'm doing exactly the same thing, thinking that I'm actually on another level than them. What kind of sick joke is that? I mean, it can be hard when someone's acting in a way that hurts or affects others. You see that, especially if it's you. You see that, they're influencing others, they're influencing you in a negative way. We completely 100% decide that they are less than us, that we are better than them, and we're bigger than them in some way. Talk about an oops moment. Because I seem to recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, that somewhere within the gospel, it's mentioned that we are all sinners. All of us. For there is no distinction, since all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. They are now justified by His grace as a gift through the redemption that is in Jesus Christ. No distinction. No distinction. Like I said, oops moment. James says, have you not made distinctions amongst yourselves and become judges with evil thoughts? Humanity distinguishes on a level that I think is almost animal or beast-like. I like watching, Planet Earth. I love watching nature shows. I think it's crazy, the kind of stuff that you can learn about God's creation. But if we look at animals all over the world, if you've got another animal, it could be an animal of the same species. If you've got an animal that comes into another animal's territory, what happens? Some species of monkey actually throw their poo at the intruder. I've seen several people come close to that. Luckily, for all, it's never gotten that far, but we distinguish too easily, don't we? I mean, just like those animals, a different animal comes into your territory, comes into your group, comes into your presence. You distinguish. We distinguish. And so often, it's either by word of mouth or appearance. I'm going to focus on appearance. We judge by appearance and make our decisions according to what people look like. I catch myself doing this all the time. Doesn't matter where I am, what I'm doing, sitting at Starbucks, sitting in class, sitting in church. Somebody walks in, I don't know them, and they stand out in any way, I start to assume things about that person. I start to formulate some idea of what their life must be like. Even if it's just subconscious. I do that. But man, who am I to judge? I mean, even if it's clear that somebody's doing wrong, who are we to be judges, really? Why do you pass judgment on your brother or sister? Or you? Why do you despise your brother or sister? For we will all stand before the judgment seat of God. I think this is what really drives the point home for me. God is the ultimate judge of all of us, everyone. My judgments carry no weight compared to the judgment of God. None. What I believe about someone else doesn't matter. In fact, what I'm doing is inviting in evil thoughts when I do judge others. Because those judgmental thoughts, they lead to other thoughts, which lead to more of those thoughts, and then you've got anger, and then you've got annoyance, and then you get aggression, and then you just bring in so many negative, evil thoughts. And you see how that builds up? Beloved, let us love one another, because love is from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, for God is love. Love, and this is the beautiful thing about our faith. Love is almost always the answer. When we walk into a room and we see people that we don't know, instead of thinking of them as being some character that we make up in our mind and judging them based upon that, walk over to them. We are all brothers and sisters in Christ, and we should walk over to them and sit down with them and love them. Brothers and sisters in Christ. When you see someone saying hurtful things about another, instead of immediately growing angry and casting judgment on them, love them. They're your brother, they're your sister. Love them as such. And it's not easy. It's never easy. And forgiveness. Forgiveness comes into the mix. No matter how many times someone may hurt you, no matter how many times you may see them hurting someone else, forgiveness. I know I struggle with this. I'm sure you do too. I'm sure. We are worldly, and we all struggle with this. But when you love one another without judgment, this is a challenge to you as much as it is a challenge to me. When you love instead of judge, you begin to feel the unity and the peace, and you begin to feel Christ through your actions. It's the hardest thing that we can do, to cut out judgment. But I really do think that the key to this lies in recognizing that the ultimate judge is God, and that our judgments only invite in evil thoughts. We combat that through love, as Christ teaches. So challenge yourself to love and not judge.